Hello guys! Welcome to Sissygram Genderbender Stories on YouTube. Today, I am bringing you a brand new genderbender story. If you like my voice, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for regular updates. Now, let's start the story. The old clock shop was eerily still, its shelves lined with timepieces, each frozen in place, with dust floating in the air, caught by the beams of sunlight filtering through the dirty windows. Alex, the shop's owner, wiped the sweat from his brow as his skilled hands carefully worked on disassembling the delicate gears of a grandfather clock. For years, Alex had dedicated himself to horology, with every callus on his hands marking countless repairs. The shop was his refuge, where time itself seemed to pause as Alex reached for another tool. Something unusual caught his attention: a tarnished silver pocket watch tucked away in the corner of his cluttered workbench. Intrigued, he picked it up and turned it over, noting the strange swirling patterns etched into its surface. The watch felt oddly heavy, unlike any he'd encountered before. "Where did you come from?" Alex muttered, squinting at the unfamiliar timepiece. He couldn't recall ever acquiring it, yet there it was. Unable to resist the temptation of a new challenge, he carefully opened the case. What he saw inside was unlike anything he'd ever worked on. Gears made of a mysterious metal interlocking in patterns that defied the laws of physics. At the center, a small winding key caught his eye. Without thinking, Alex inserted the key and wound it 3 times as the gears began to spin faster and faster. A strange sensation spread through his body. The world around him seemed to tilt, and he stumbled, knocking over a stack of repair manuals as he sought support. The familiar surroundings of the shop dissolved into a whirlwind of colors, and a roaring noise drowned out all other sounds. The disorienting experience lasted only a moment before it stopped, leaving Alex gasping for air. When Alex regained composure, he realized something was terribly wrong. His clothes hung loosely on him, as though they had grown several sizes too large. Long chestnut hair had spilled across his face. "Wait, long hair," he muttered, panic rising. He scrambled to his feet and nearly tripped on his oversized shoes, stumbling to the small mirror on the wall. He was greeted by a face that was unmistakably feminine. High cheekbones, full lips, and wide hazel eyes stared back at him. He raised a trembling hand to touch the smooth, soft skin of his face. "No, this can't be happening," Alex whispered, his voice sounding unfamiliar, higher and melodic. His body had also changed. Where once there had been a male physique, now curves filled out the clothes he was wearing. Alex's mind raced, trying to comprehend the impossible transformation. She grabbed the mysterious pocket watch, hoping to find a clue that might reverse the change. But the watch's face showed nothing out of the ordinary. The clock on the wall showed it was just past 3 p.m. Alex took a deep breath, trying to think rationally. "Okay," she said aloud, startling herself with her new voice. "I need to figure this out. But first, I need clothes that fit." She rummaged through a small closet in the back of the shop, finding a pair of sweatpants and a loose t-shirt. After changing into the makeshift outfit, Alex looked at her reflection again. She ran a hand through her long hair, marveling at its softness. "This is insane," she muttered. A knock at the door startled her. "We're closed," she called out, wincing at the sound of her feminine voice. The response came from Maxim, a fellow clockmaker and close friend. "Alex, it's me. Open up," Alex panicked. How could she explain this to him? "I can't right now, Maxim. I'm in the middle of a tricky repair," she lied, trying to deepen her voice. "Are you okay in there? You sound weird," Maxim asked. "It's just a cold," she lied again. "I'll call you later." "Okay, if you're sure," Maxim replied, his voice sounding unconvinced. "Take care of yourself." Once Maxim's footsteps faded away, Alex felt a wave of relief. After grabbing her things, she hesitated for a moment, then tucked the strange pocket watch into her bag. Part of her wanted to destroy it, but she couldn't risk losing the only thing that might reverse the transformation. As Alex stepped outside, the world seemed different through her new perspective. Colors were more vivid, scents sharper, and the breeze felt novel as it touched her skin. She quickly became aware of the attention she was attracting. Men's gazes lingered, some even offering smiles. It was unnerving, and she quickened her pace, eager to get to her apartment. Climbing the stairs to her third-floor apartment was a struggle. Her center of gravity had shifted, and her borrowed shoes were far too large. By the time she reached her door, she was out of breath and frustrated. Inside, she leaned against the door, surveying her surroundings. Everything seemed the same, yet it all looked different. She caught sight of herself in the hallway mirror, and the reflection almost startled her. It would take time to adjust. Her stomach growled, reminding her she hadn't eaten since breakfast. She opened the fridge, only to wrinkle her nose at the sight of leftover pizza, something she used to love. Now, the greasy food made her feel queasy. She craved something light and fresh. After throwing together a quick salad, she sat down to eat, trying to make sense of her situation. "Okay," she said aloud, her voice still unfamiliar. "I turned into a woman because of a magic pocket watch." "That's insane, but it happened. So what now?" As the day wore on, Alex tried to figure out her next steps. She needed clothes that fit better for going out. After some trial and error, she fashioned a makeshift bra and put together a makeshift outfit. When she looked in the mirror, she had to admit, she looked pretty good. Long legs, a slim waist, and curves in all the right places. Her chestnut hair framed her heart-shaped face, and she couldn't help but feel surprised by how well she looked. The trip to the department store proved to be an eye-opening experience. Alex found herself overwhelmed by the vast array of clothing, unsure of what would fit or look good. A cheerful sales associate named Ashley helped guide her through the process. After a whirlwind of activity, Ashley even helped Alex get properly measured for lingerie, much to her embarrassment. After picking out a new wardrobe, Alex reluctantly handed over her credit card, though the total made her wince. At least she'd be prepared for whatever came next. "Would you like to wear any of this out?" Ashley asked as she bagged the clothes. Alex agreed, and after a quick change in the fitting room, she emerged in a pair of dark skinny jeans, a green sweater, and ankle boots. The outfit was flattering, and for the first time since the transformation, Alex felt a little confident. Outside, the sun was setting, casting long shadows across the sidewalk. The feeling of the new clothes hugged her curves, and she couldn't help but enjoy the sensation. She headed home, marveling at the clothes as she hung them up, side by side with her usual button-downs and slacks. Later, in the privacy of her apartment, she experimented with makeup, following online tutorials. It wasn't perfect, but she felt a thrill as she learned the basics. A text from Maxim came later that evening, asking if she felt better. Alex lied again, telling him she just needed some rest. As she continued with her night, she began to feel more comfortable in her new body, growing into it as the evening went on. Around midnight, she reached for the pocket watch on her nightstand and studied its intricate patterns, wondering what it truly was. The next morning, Alex woke up to find himself back in his original male body. For a brief moment, he felt a pang of disappointment, but then he remembered the revelation he had during the night. He had learned something new about himself, something he wasn't willing to ignore. Over the next few weeks, Alex began experimenting with his appearance. He grew his hair out, explored androgynous clothing, and practiced makeup, feeling more and more comfortable with his evolving identity. When Maxim noticed, he was supportive, though a bit confused. But for Alex, this was just the beginning of a new chapter in his life. He no longer felt like he had to hide any part of who he was. This is where the story ends. I spend hours of effort creating these kinds of stories, so if you're new to this channel, please hit the like button and subscribe my Sissygram Genderbender Stories YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to comment on what you would do if you were in his place. I'm eagerly waiting for your comments, and I personally read all of them. Okay, guys, thanks for joining. And I'll see you in the next story in the next video. Take care and bye.